Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm glad to have you home. Take a breath with me, because what we're about to step into isn't just a reading, it's a heart space transmission. Spirit has asked me to tune in closely today and bring through a message that feels deeply personal. This one's coming straight from the emotional core of your connection. So, if you've been wondering what's really going on in their energy right now, how they're seeing you, what they haven't said out loud but still feel, you're in the right place. I'll be pulling from the deck in just a moment to bring through a message directly from their heart to yours. No overthinking, no guesswork. Just clear, honest emotion channeled straight from their soul. Let's begin. Let's see how they're truly feeling about you and what their higher self is ready to reveal now. The first card I just pulled is the Moon, and Divine Feminine, this card holds layers. The moment it came forward, I heard a message come through loud and clear. They can't break you. This card speaks to everything that's been hidden beneath the surface. Things not said, truths avoided, emotions they never had the courage to share. But Spirit is pulling the veil back now, and the energy here is for a very specific kind of divine feminine. Someone who's been through it, who's loved deeply, who's been vulnerable, who's poured her heart into connections only to be misunderstood, mishandled, or pushed away by masculine energies who didn't realize what they had until it was gone. You are the kind of soul who only comes around once. And the truth is, the Spirit doesn't send you into people's lives by mistake. You were assigned. Your love, it wasn't just romantic. It was transformational. It touched the core of whoever received it. And that's what scared them. Because your love didn't let them stay hidden. It reflected. It mirrored. It made them look at themselves. And many weren't ready for that level of truth. Some of them tried to test you. Some didn't believe you were real. Some assumed your openness was weakness. Your softness was naivety. And that's where Spirit stepped in. Because the minute someone tried to manipulate what was divine within you, that connection got cut, sometimes suddenly, sometimes painfully, but always in perfect timing. And what they didn't realize then was that your exit wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Once your energy left the room, they were left with themselves. And the silence, that's when it started echoing. You may not know this, but the way you leave people, it lingers. There's something regal, something sacred about the way you walk away when you're done. Even if it hurt, even if it broke your heart, you never let the break turn you bitter. And that's what stays with them. That's what haunts them in quiet moments. It's the knowing that they fumbled someone rare, someone real, someone sent. And here's what's wild. Many of these masculine energies don't even realize what happened until they feel you aligning with someone new. For some of you, there is a new energy entering your field. For others, it's just your frequency rising so high that they sense something new is coming, and it shakes them. Because deep down, they're still clinging to the version of you who needed their love. And now, you don't. You're standing right in the middle of a powerful transition. One foot in the past, one stepping fully into your future. And Spirit is saying, this moment is sacred. You're not the same woman you were in those past connections. You've learned. You've healed. You've grown into someone who doesn't just give love freely, but protects it fiercely. And that's what's making waves in the spiritual realm. That's what's triggering old energy, because now they can't reach you the way they used to. They can't access your heart through old patterns. They can't play on your softness or guilt you with silence. You've evolved past that, and they feel it. Some of you may already be aware of who this is. You've been feeling their energy. Others of you might be surprised when the truth comes out. But either way, this message is here to confirm what you felt on a soul level. Someone from your past is waking up, and it's too late, because the version of you they knew doesn't live here anymore. And the most powerful part of all of this, you're not angry. You're not seeking revenge. You're not waiting for them to understand. You've simply chosen yourself. You've chosen to keep your heart intact, to keep your spirit whole. And the moon confirms that this is your time to keep walking forward, even when others are still looking back. You are the divine feminine who couldn't be broken, not by loss, not by betrayal, not by being misunderstood. And the people who couldn't hold you, they're just now realizing what they lost. But that's not your burden to carry. Your only job now is to keep becoming, keep softening, keep glowing. Because your future, it's already reaching back for you. Let's pull the next card for you. And what I just drew is the High Priestess. Divine Feminine, this one gave me chills. Because wow, what a perfect card to follow the moon. Spirit isn't whispering to you right now. It's speaking clearly, loudly, through your body, through your dreams, through that quiet voice in your heart that you keep trying to second guess. But this card, it's confirmation. You're not imagining it. You're not overthinking. Your intuition is leading you right now, on purpose. I'm picking up on someone who's just met or recently reconnected with a masculine energy that feels different. There's curiosity here. There's even chemistry. But deeper than all that, there's this subtle push and pull that you haven't quite been able to name. And that's exactly where the High Priestess steps in, because she doesn't demand proof. She doesn't need all the details lined up in front of her. She trusts what she feels, and you're being asked to do the same. This card is often about sacred knowledge, those things that only you can know because they live within your spirit. And when it comes to this connection, something inside you already knows. You can sense when their words don't match their energy. You can feel when their silence isn't just space, it's avoidance. And no matter how much you may like this person or want things to grow, there's a deeper part of you that refuses to ignore those red flags, even the faint ones. Spirit is showing me butterflies, strong in the gut, not in the romantic way, but in the something isn't sitting right way. And that feeling, that's your inner compass. That's your third eye, wide open. You see, Divine Feminine, your energy is so clear, so open, and so aligned right now that you pick up on things most people would miss entirely. This is a blessing. But it's also why you've been feeling so much lately. Even if nothing specific has happened, you feel that something is underneath the surface. And what's so layered here is that your heart wants to believe the best. You've grown so much in love. You've learned how to be open and discerning. But now, Spirit is asking you to go even deeper, to see this situation not just through your emotions, but through your higher self. That means taking a moment to zoom out. Not just, do I like this person? But, how does my soul feel when I'm around them? Do you feel expanded or unsure? Do you feel safe to be seen, or like you're always having to scan for subtle signs of shiftiness? Because here's the truth. This card is less about them and more about you, about your gift, about your knowing, about the fact that your guides are speaking and they want you to listen, not with fear, but with clarity. They've given you a sacred radar, divine feminine, and right now it's lit up. So if something's been feeling off, even if you can't explain it, trust that. This card comes through when a divine feminine is being asked to choose herself before she chooses anyone else. You are spiritually protected, but that doesn't mean spirit won't still give you the heads up when something isn't aligned. That's what this is. And I feel for some of you, this isn't just about one person. It's about a shift in how you do love altogether. You're not romanticizing red flags anymore. You're not over-explaining behavior that doesn't feel right. You're not shrinking your intuition just to keep a connection. You're becoming someone who listens the first time your soul speaks. And that kind of power, it changes everything. So ask yourself, divine feminine, does this energy expand me? Does it reflect the love I've been growing toward? Or is it here to test how much I've learned? The High Priestess already knows your answer. The question is, will you trust what you feel? Let's pull the next card for this message. And the one that just came through is the Hanged Man. And wow, divine feminine. The second this card landed, I felt it deep in the heart space. Because the Hanged Man shows up when spirit is asking us to stop, breathe, and see something from a completely new angle. And that's exactly what's happening here. With you, with this masculine, and with the whole story you two are starting to unfold. This card fits so perfectly with the energy of you were never mine. Because what I'm feeling here is this moment of surrender, not just letting go of a person or a past, but letting go of the illusion of control, letting go of how you thought love was supposed to look, letting go of timelines that your heart once clung to so tightly. There's this really raw truth coming through from the masculine side of this connection. It's the kind of truth that isn't easy to say out loud, which is why it's been sitting heavy in their energy field for a while. I'm getting the sense that when you first entered their life, divine feminine, they didn't think they were capable of receiving a connection like this. Not because you weren't wanted, but because they weren't ready. You came in at a time that completely disrupted their emotional patterns. You triggered growth. You mirrored parts of them they were still hiding from. And instead of seeing that as a blessing, they saw it as inconvenient. You shook up their world in a way they weren't prepared for. And now, they're in a totally different energy. More still, more open, more aware. But here's the thing, so are you. That's the wild part. You've both gone through this shift where you had to release someone, or maybe even a version of yourselves that you thought you'd always hold on to. And only now are you starting to realize that love wasn't yours to keep. It was a lesson, a mirror, a chapter that helped you reach this one. This message is layered because there's a quiet ache that comes with realizing you weren't someone's forever, or that they weren't yours. Even if you know it's right, even if you feel freer because of it. There's still a part of the heart that remembers the hope, the dreams, the version of you that tried so hard to make it work. But the Hanged Man reminds us that this in-between space, the space between letting go and receiving what's next, is sacred. This is where new vision is born. This is where you both start seeing love in a whole new light. And for this masculine, that light is you. They're waking up to the fact that your energy has done something to them that no one else ever could. They're realizing that just your presence was the beginning of a deep spiritual activation. And even if they didn't treat you as sacred in the beginning, they're seeing it now. Not because you changed, but because you stayed rooted in truth. You didn't fight to be claimed. You chose yourself. And that choice created a ripple effect they're still feeling. For some of you, this message is about reclaiming your own lens, realizing that who you thought you'd end up with wasn't the person your soul truly aligned with. That the story you once held so tightly wasn't the whole book, it was just a chapter. And now, the pages are turning. There's also a mirrored energy here. You and this masculine may have both been holding on to past energies with a grip so tight it hurt. And it wasn't until you finally released the outcome, released the fantasy, that true clarity came in. The clarity that said, I was never theirs, they were never mine. But that doesn't mean it wasn't real. It means it wasn't meant to last. Now your soul is shifting timelines, moving from attachment to alignment, from longing to receiving, from trying to fit love into old molds, to letting love meet you exactly as you are. So breathe through this moment. Let this be the pause before the next chapter. Let yourself feel whatever comes up, because the truth is, letting go doesn't mean you didn't love. It means you're brave enough to trust that something more aligned is rising. Let's go ahead and pull the next card, and wow, the star just came through. And Divine Feminine, this is powerful, because the star is all about hope, healing, and soul-level renewal. And the moment this card landed, it was like a soft wave of emotion moved in, because this masculine sees you as that light, as that miracle they didn't even know they needed. As the moment everything started to shift, without force or demand, just your presence. The message here, you saved my life, is deep. And it's not always about some dramatic rescue. Sometimes saving someone looks like showing them what love really is. It looks like seeing them when they've spent years hiding. It looks like staying soft when the world told you to harden. That's what you've done. You didn't just show up in their life. You restored something sacred, something they didn't realize was missing until you breathed life into it. Before you, they were surviving behind armor, behind stories, behind this idea that to be strong, they had to be cold. To be safe, they had to stay guarded. But then you came in, real, open-hearted, not chasing, not fixing, just being. And it changed them. They're looking back now and realizing just how much they were pretending, how much of their life was performative, trying to be who they thought they had to be to get by. But your energy didn't require performance. It didn't need their mask. It called them into honesty, into softness, into self. And here's what they're finally understanding. You believed in love. Even when love had disappointed you, even when your heart had been mishandled before, you still chose to show up with faith, with vulnerability, with this wild courage that said, I'm not gonna let the pain define me. And that's what saved them. They can't stop thinking about it. How you held up a mirror they weren't ready for, but needed. How you never made them feel small for being afraid. How you gave them space to breathe, feel, and begin again. They may not have had the words for it at the time, but now they're feeling all of it. The gratitude, the awe, the deep knowing that your love healed a part of them they had buried long ago. The star card is also about divine timing. And what's coming through so clearly is that this connection isn't random. It's part of a greater alignment, a soul contract that chose this lifetime for healing, for breaking cycles, for rewriting the story. You didn't just fall into their life. You were placed with purpose, placed with love. And you may have wondered why you love so deeply, why your heart keeps giving even when it's been cracked open. Spirit wants you to know that's not weakness. That's your power. That's your medicine. That's your mission. Because what you carry in your love, it restores people. It wakes them up. It calls them home. This masculine may never have said it out loud, but they know it now. You saved them from a future of pretending, from repeating the same cycles that would have drained their soul. And they're realizing just how rare it is to be seen the way you saw them, not for who they thought they needed to be, but for who they actually are. And if there's any part of you that still wonders whether your presence mattered, whether they noticed, whether your love was received, this is your confirmation. They felt it. They feel it still. And even if they don't have the perfect words to say it, their soul is sending you this message. You didn't just touch my life. You changed it. You saved them in ways they'll never forget. Let's pull the next card together, and the one that just landed is the Lovers. Divine Feminine, this is big. The Lovers card doesn't just show up when things are casual. This card arrives when the heart space is opening in a way that shifts your entire life path. And the message that came through with it, this is my biggest secret. But what's wild is this secret isn't just theirs, it's yours too. Because what Spirit is showing me right now is that love, real, sacred, transformational love, has always been your essence. It's not just something you give, it's who you are. But somewhere along the way, life made you second guess that. Pain made you cautious. Betrayals made you guarded, and projections from others made you think your softness was a weakness. But deep down, your biggest secret has always been your heart. And this masculine energy that's moving closer to you, they're starting to see it. They don't fully understand it yet, and honestly, it scares them a little. Because from the moment they met you, there's been this pull, a familiarity, a recognition, like their soul already knew yours. And now they're realizing something they've never said out loud. You are their safe place. What's more, they're beginning to understand that you are the one who carries the love they've been searching for their entire life. Not the kind of love that's loud or performative, but the kind that holds, the kind that heals, the kind that makes them feel seen in ways they never even knew they craved. And for you, this connection is revealing something sacred too. It's reminding you that your biggest gift, your biggest power, is your ability to love deeply without conditions. You've been made to feel like your love was too much or too intense, especially by those who didn't know how to receive it. But this energy here, this new masculine, they don't see you as too much. They see you as everything they didn't know they needed. Spirit is showing me that your love reaches people on a soul level. You don't just enter their lives, you awaken parts of them that were dormant, parts that were scared to speak, parts that were hidden under layers of protection. And now, you're doing the same for this person. Just by being you, you're helping them remove masks they've worn for years. And here's the secret they're holding: they're in love. Whether they've said it or not, whether they've admitted it to themselves or not, their energy is clear. They're not just intrigued by you, they're being changed by you. They're learning how to trust again, how to feel again, how to show up as their full self without fear of being misunderstood. But what's also becoming clear is that this connection is different. It's sacred. It carries the weight of soul contract energy. And that means your choices matter more now than ever. Because the people you allow close right now, the bonds you nurture, they're not temporary. They're karmic. They're transformational. They're timeline altering. That's why Spirit is asking you to be more selective with your energy, not out of fear, but out of reverence. Your love isn't ordinary, and the way it's being received in this connection, it's changing the atmosphere. They're realizing your presence is not a coincidence. It's a blessing, a divine answer. For some of you, this masculine may never have believed in divine counterparts. They may have written off the idea of the one. But since meeting you, everything's changed. They see it now. They feel it. They know. And even though they may not say it yet, you are their biggest secret, the one they think about constantly, the one they can't explain, the one they're afraid to lose before they've even had the chance to fully open up. So, Divine Feminine, this message isn't just about them, it's about you. It's about seeing yourself clearly. It's about knowing that your ability to love after everything you've been through is not something small. It's something holy. And it's your love, your energy, your light that's pulling everything into alignment. This is sacred love, soul deep, once in a lifetime kind of love, and it's only the beginning. Let's pull the final card for this reading, and what I just drew is the Emperor. Divine Feminine, the message coming through is bold and undeniable. I need you. And it's not coming from a place of lack, it's coming from a place of clarity. This masculine has never been more certain. The more they sit with their feelings, the more they realize this connection is not about chasing or wanting. It's about recognizing, and they're recognizing you deeply. There's something sacred about the way you hold space, the way your energy shifts the atmosphere around you. And this masculine knows others might want you, but he needs you. Not in a possessive way, not in a controlling way, but in a soul-deep, stabilizing, you anchor me kind of way. What's powerful about this is the contrast he's seeing now. He's lived in the shallow. He's entertained connections that were surface level, where masks were worn and truths were hidden. And those experiences helped him understand what this is not. He's been on both sides of the coin, the one who didn't know what he had, and now the one who knows exactly what he's holding. This card is also bringing up something profound about how your feminine energy has impacted him, because your presence hasn't just stirred his emotions, it's revealed his own duality, the part of him that still struggles, the part of him that's learning how to lead from his highest self. The Emperor is not just a man of power, he is a protector, a provider, a builder, and that's what he wants to be for you. There's this unspoken understanding here. He may not have said the words, but you felt the shift in his tone, in his actions, in the way he looks at you like he's studying something sacred, because he is. He sees your light, and he knows now your kind of love isn't meant to be consumed. It's meant to be respected. And with that realization comes something tender. He doesn't just want to love you. He wants to make sure he doesn't dim your light. Because he's seen what happens when a divine feminine gives too much to someone who isn't ready. How her glow starts to dim. How her spirit grows weary. And he doesn't want that for you. Not ever. That's why he's showing up now, not as a man with empty hands, but as someone who's done the inner work, someone who's wrestled with his own shadows and is now ready to stand beside you in truth. Because he knows your love can elevate, it can expand, but only if it's met with equal intention. This card also speaks to a moment of clarity he's had recently. A realization that your energy isn't just nurturing, it's transformational. And that scares some people. Because not every masculine is ready to face the parts of themselves that your love brings to light. But this one, he's trying, he's willing. And more than anything, he needs you to know that he sees you, all of you. If you felt this shift in your connection, like something's deepening, like the words are unspoken but the meaning is loud, trust it. This is a connection being guided by spirit, a union that's being cleared of old timelines, of past wounds, of karmic cords. So whether this is two separate masculine energies or one masculine who's evolved through layers and timelines, you'll know by the way your body responds, by the way your intuition rises when you hear this. The most important thing here is you. You've always been the one who activates the truth in others. You don't just hold love, you hold truth. And now, the love that's being drawn to you is ready to hold you back, fully, devotedly, consistently. This Emperor isn't just asking for a chance, he's ready to offer something real. And very soon, you'll begin to see confirmations all around you, signs, synchronicities, unexpected conversations that bring clarity. Even quiet confessions from him that will confirm what you've always felt in your soul. So let this reading close with this truth. You are not just wanted, you are needed. Not in a way that drains you, in a way that sees you, in a way that chooses you, and finally, in a way that matches you. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. If this message touched your heart, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button so this energy reaches those who need it. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so we can keep growing together. You are sacred, you are magnetic, and the love rising in your life now, it's real. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.